Here's how to love Thor. Thor actually is a quality versus quantity god. He wants quantity of quality, though. So you have to understand that Thor loves women, Thor loves men, but he respects the right of women and men to do different jobs. Also, you should know Thor wants you to love him genuinely. There are just certain things that you'll say after you push outward or when you're pushing outward that indicate that you genuinely love Thor, and they will tell you, like, Thor. Oh, by the way, before I say this, you should know that I learned all my language from shamanism. I pushed outward and I asked a question to Odin. That was what I told you in my push outward video, more or less. And I got Viking history included. And you have to ask for Viking history also, don't forget that. And history before Vikings. And you have to ask for not just Vikings, but householders. Now you have to understand that when I asked this question, I asked for replacements of what was inside. And you have to push outward like you're dying. And as if you were dying. When I did this, and I asked for language, when I did this, I got West Norse as the language that they gave me. It's a miracle. I'm registering live on YouTube that I got a miracle out of shamanism. I was made a shaman at 2 years old by Odin, and I pushed outward. I started pushing outward when I was 34. I am now almost 40, and it took me a long time to push outward, several years to push outward. You will be requiring aid to do this. You can't do this on your own. You have to have somebody look after you for that time period that you're pushing outward. I have somebody that looked after me while I was pushing outward, and I'm good friends with them. So, good buddies. I'm good buddies with this person. I'm a buddy of this person. One of my buddies helped me do this so that I wasn't homeless or put in a home for the disabled. People are going to think you're crazy when you do this. You have to understand, Thor actually wants you to realize that you're going to look very, very different. You're going to sound very different. You're going to have a different perspective on life than what all the Christians do, because you're actually embodying what the Norse taught their children. I am learning baby speak about its Norse. It's baby speak about its Norse. Norse people valued public speaking, and I'm learning Norse public speaking from somebody who, a god named Nord and Frey, who are they're very good at public speaking because of what they do. Nord does a lot with all thing, and Frey does a lot with rights of people, kingship, and all this kind of thing. So you have to understand, Thor wants you to accept all of this about Thor. Thor is king of Surhamar. You have to understand that he's absolute about it. He has absolute power, but you can convince him of things because there's all thing. Now, you have to understand that maybe you should look at it this way. All thing actually has a lot of power on the king. All thing of Tyr has a lot of power on Thor. That's why I say that Tyr is the heart of the people, because you can't just be this lawless anarchist, and Tyr won't allow it anyway. He won't allow lawless anarchy, and Thor wants you to appreciate what Norse people call lawless anarchy versus lawful living. So here it is. Dalvakawahalana fastana thalanin, Alafafalana fakawahatana rikivaskorana twifananin, Athanin, Gathina fosiana tatafastana thar, Othanin. That is not what I was talking about. I was actually talking about something else. The soul actually doesn't agree with me. My soul doesn't agree with me. It wants the easy life. It wants, it's greedy. Most people have something about themselves that they don't like. It turns out that my soul likes the easy life. I think everybody likes the easy life, and it wants to be like everybody else. I don't. I'm used to not being like everybody else. I'm used to having some kind of shamanic experience like a land vetter or something. And this has happened like ever since I was a kid. So I am used to it. But some of you might not be used to it. You have to get used to it, and you have to respect Thor's right to send somebody or not send somebody. And that's the way it is.